Welcome everyone to Merkaba Energy Healing. So I had absolutely no plan to do a reading today or to bring messages today, but I was asked to get up out of my comfortable seat and to my desk to deliver some messages. Happy to do so. So I just first want to say what I received. I was shown some messages about what many call Ascension Symptoms. So I'm just going to use that term because it's popular. I think we're ascending all the time. But anyway, so what I was shown was this almost polarizing experience between being utterly exhausted during the day and wide awake or awakenings during the night. So some of you who've been with me for a while, you might have noticed I did not put out a midweek video last week. I was just too exhausted. And even the one that I just put out, it took a lot to get me to sit to do that reading. And I don't like to do readings if I'm not really feeling well. So my guides are telling me, well, it was actually not my guides telling me, it was a real download, okay? It was just a claircognizant understanding. It was a deep understanding that I was shown that the solar flares that are occurring right now with the coronal mass ejections, that they're affecting our bodies in ways that humanity hasn't experienced before. And they showed it to me almost as if the cells are melting. They showed it to me as if we're becoming more liquid. I don't really know how else to describe what I saw, but that our bodies are calibrating to this higher amount of heat and light. And so it almost looks as if our formed bodies are melting, as bizarre as that sounds. And it's melting our brain, not literally, but energetically, so that the way we once knew how to live in the 3D in form is utterly shifting, is what I received. This is not gospel. Let this be a conversation for all of us to have. Maybe in the comments, let me know what you think. And that at nighttime, when the earth is cooler, our minds can work better and receive downloads and codes and healing frequencies in a way that is more difficult during the day. Interestingly, as I'm saying this, my guides are showing me that even those places that are cold during the day, the rays are still coming through, the solar flares and the coronal mass ejections. Okay, that's a little weird. See, now I'm starting to clear through my body and I have absolutely no idea why. This was very off the cuff. So I'm sure they'll explain to me. Okay. They're saying also because so much healing is going on during the body, when the body is able to navigate, I'm hearing, to shuttle toxins out of the body, it can wake you up. While sleep is often a time where we are going through rest and renewal, this is on steroids, they're telling me. So it's almost like the amount of light hitting us during the day knocks us out, figuratively and literally. Energetically as well. And that during the night, the cellular turnover and the healing and all of this is very charged, but in a way that your body can handle because all of that heat is not on it. I hope this is making sense. And I was shown crystals earlier today, that using crystals and putting crystals around your home can be very cooling to the body. So this is what I've experienced. My guides showed me some time ago that I'm kind of like a guinea pig for the collective, so that a lot of what happens to me is going to happen to a lot of other light workers, and certainly vice versa. But since I'm on a kind of stage now where I can speak to you guys, I'm here to share my experience. So I've been, exhausted a lot of my life. So it's hard for me to discern because I struggle with health issues that make me feel deeply fatigued. So I've had to get very good at discerning the difference. And so it was a marked difference, the kind of exhaustion, the quality of it. It didn't feel like I was sick. It felt like I was being shown, you're not meant to move now. Something is happening where your body just needs to be still. And then at night, I can have my air conditioning on high and I'm still boiling. It's very bizarre. So the heat goes into the night, even though the night is cooler, and something is happening. Something is being, I'm hearing, restructured, recalibrated at night, and it could wake you up. So I want to ask my guides for any, okay, hold on. Okay, they're also saying the word arthritis, that you might feel arthritic pain. They're actually showing, wow, guys, I don't know what any of this means exactly. I say really humbly, I'm only sharing what I can, what I'm receiving. I haven't quite made sense of it because I didn't do any direct, like automatic writing or anything like this. They're showing me bones moving. Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, they're showing me teeth and bone alignment. So there was misalignment from, nutrient, depletion of nutrients, I'm hearing. So I'm getting the sense that what they're telling me now is that what we are receiving is a deep level of nourishment. Is that correct? Yes. And this is going to do things to the body that rationally doesn't make sense. Yes, I'm getting a yes. Like they're showing me people who are bent over, whether they have osteoporosis or other problems, are going to start to straighten. And they're saying like this, not so much maybe certain souls at a certain time of their life or at a certain point in their soul's journey, but others, yes, there's going to be, they are using the word miraculous there, okay. There are going to be changes in the body that sort of go against what we consider nature, okay. Surprises, I'm hearing surprises. I'm hearing very important to listen to our bodies right now and not to fight it or try to analyze it, just let the experience happen. Do you want to say anything else about Ascension Symptoms? Okay, for all you females out there who still have a cycle, they're showing me they were using the word inconsistencies with your cycle. So you might get your period earlier. They're saying more like spotting, things like this. And of course, as always, any of these symptoms, check with your doctor. Anything that's worrisome, check with your doctor. But if nothing shows up, okay, just take good care of yourself. Is there anything you want to say about that? They're giving me a kind of a complicated story here about, they just said the words womb infiltration. Wow. They're saying that the womb of Mother Gaia was infiltrated, and also the womb of women has been infiltrated on our planet. I'm not sure if I should even go. There's so much they're giving me. I'm not even sure what I should be sharing, but there's a recalibration I'm hearing of the sacred womb. Wow. So that it can be a sacred portal through which life is birthed once again. They're not saying that birth before wasn't sacred, but there has been interference. Yeah, because before, when they were telling me about Ascension Symptoms, they showed me the new generation of children coming in are going to be so much more awakened. They're going to use a lot more telepathy. They're showing me children who are going to speak a little later, because the spoken word, so to speak, the words coming out of our mouths is not going to be as important, because we're going to be going into a sphere of telepathy, they're saying. Let me know if you guys have experienced that, where you feel like you can pick up information from other people's minds, or, yeah. Or if you have children, are you able to communicate very clearly without words? Any of you animal communicators out there that connected with me in the community through my last video, I love you guys. You're all amazing human beings. I just feel so blessed in all of you. You know, telepathy is a huge part of animal communication between humans and animals to animals. So let me know if you've experienced that. Yeah, they're showing me again this heat that's happening in the brain. It's almost to turn certain areas of the brain on. They're showing it to me as exercising a muscle we haven't exercised. So they're helping us exercise that muscle, whereas we over-exercise, you know, the Broca's and Wernicke areas, like the areas of the brain of speech and grammar and pronunciation and this sort of thing. And there are other areas of the brain that have to do with telepathy or communicating without verbiage. They're actually showing me that people on the spectrum have a lot to teach us, they just said. Yeah, there was a book when I was studying psychology in college, not in graduate school. Let me see if I can go find the book. 1 second, guys. No, sorry, guys, I can't find it. I have so many books. So anyway, it was a book about this autistic child and how these amazing therapeutic workers figured out how to communicate using his language. Like there was a scene where he's sitting on a chair and he's twirling the bolt around a nut of a chair, right? And he was communicating through this bolt with yes and no to start. And so instead of imposing our or their language onto him, they just quieted and listened. Because we keep imposing our beliefs or our narrow perspectives onto the world, onto what may be a blank slate or a slate of massive amounts of information. Either way, we don't allow ourselves to necessarily see what's there. We have adulterated it to the nth degree, okay? So there's something about cleaning the slate of the mind to allow for novel experiences to happen, for us to learn how to take more of a step back, to not talk so much and listen to talking so much. You know, I talk for a living, I speak for a living, and it's a lot and I love it. And speaking is a beautiful thing. But I also love to just sit back and heal and let energy just do its thing without words. So my guides are saying there's a space and time for everything. Right? And so there's everything, meaning all the things that we're not even aware of. They need to come into the fold so that we can figure out the space and time for everything, literally. Okay, I feel like I'm going off a little bit here. So I want to pull a few cards before I close out. Just going to use these same 2 decks that I've been using for these collective readings, collective messages. My guys, what else do you want to tell the collective about Ascension Symptoms? Guys, if you have any questions you want me to ask my guides in collective readings or otherwise, or you have any ideas for readings, please let me know in the comments. I hope to do, you know, the ones you've asked me to do, dragon ones and Arcturian ones and so forth. But anything else immediately important to you, let me know. Okay. Oops. Okay, that just came out. Okay, so we have love. Number 33. Some of you might be waking up at 3:33 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning. I've been saying for a while that love to me is the answer to everything. And in my recent video, some of you beautiful people talked about how you understand what it means to learn how to be more rather than do more. And in the state of being, we actually expand our hearts. They are saying in terms of ascension symptoms, because the heart chakra is opening so much for many of us, we might start feeling a bit breathless or have some heart palpitations or heart flutters. Always check with your doctor with matters of the heart in that way. But that if nothing comes up, it is likely that. They're also showing me, okay, in my first 3-Eye Atlas video, they talked about the importance of water. So they're bringing that up again, but they're adding the idea of adding minerals and electrolytes to your water. I always recommend Celtic sea salt to your water. It's highly mineralized salt. Yeah. They're just saying, they're calling the heart an electric organ, and it requires a lot of minerals to work properly. You know, they're giving me this scene from Lemuria. I might have mentioned it on my channel before. I have a singular memory of being in Lemuria, and I am a non-formed being. I look like pixie dust, like gold pixie dust, and I'm just flying around, and I hear myself something like giggling, or I'm going wee as I'm flying around. And as I fly around, it makes me always happy to tell this story, all these little flowers start to bud and bloom, and all these little trees start to grow, and they're kind of like dancing with me as I see it now, which I didn't notice before. Anyway, so in this card where there's all these flowers as she's walking, there's this idea that the plant and mineral kingdom come to life as we embody more of our heart, as we embody more love, as we embody more joy. Joy has been coming out in my readings a lot lately as well. So there might be something of a Lemurian energy returning to our planet, which is, again, this combination of love and joy with formlessness. What else do you want to tell the collective about ascension symptoms right now, Spirit? What else do you want to tell the collective about ascension symptoms? Yeah. And we have awakening. I just heard as above, so below. Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. They're talking about how we always look up at the sky, and we look up at the sky outside of our planet for meaning. And there's a call to also look inside our planet, into her heart, into Mother Gaia's heart, and all of the information that's embedded within her. In one of my recent readings, I talked about in one of the groups that, yeah, I think it was the Soul Mission. I think it was group number 2, was about clearing the lineage and how, oh no, yeah, it was group, I don't know, maybe group one or 2. There was something about cleaning the roots, that Mother Gaia has this remembrance of all that has happened, all of the suffering that has happened in our lineages. And she is sobbing for all of those souls and for the witnessing of that and holding the space for the suffering. And so we always look to the skies for information, but she's calling us. She's calling us to say, speak to me, speak to the fairies, speak to the energies in the deep earth that we are not even aware of at all. And so there's something about this connection between the root and the crown, and that the whole chakra system awakens when we are connected as much with, you know, our cosmic brothers and sisters, with the moon and the sun and 3-Eye Atlas and the cosmos at large, with as much as we are with Mother Gaia and plants, minerals, and the deep earth, her crystalline core, and all the beings that exist within the earth, right? We're just on the surface. What's all the way inside? That's not just bedrock and lava and, I don't know, aquifers. I mean, there's much more in there that we probably don't know anything about, but I'm pretty sure it's bloody magnificent. We are most certainly going through a time of awakening. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, so they're actually telling me, they're actually saying that there is this need to ground, but in a lot of different ways. So it's like getting your feet on the grass, but it's also walking in the sand and going to the ocean. It's also having conscious telepathic conversations with Mother Gaia. It's also opening up your heart to insects and to nature in a way that maybe you never did before. Maybe you pass the same tree on the way to work or when you're walking your dog, and you've just never acknowledged it before. Maybe now you will get a sense that I want to say hi to this tree. I want to just acknowledge it. How many of us just walk down the street and there's all of these beautiful plants around us and we just don't acknowledge them, and they're all alive and they all have a consciousness. And that's another way of grounding, of connecting with the earth. Okay, they keep showing me water again, so water seems to be very important. And finally, we have flow. I had a feeling that was going to come out again. Okay, they're showing me a few different things here. Flow, again, they're showing me water, right? Here we have water again. Sorry, I'm not showing the cards. Here's the awakening card. Did I show this? I don't remember. And now we have flow, which came out in one of the other channel messages. But they're highlighting the water and the importance of water. They're also highlighting the birds up here and zooming out and opening up your perspective, not getting too caught in the details of life right now. And then weeping willows came out in one of my other messages too. I kept seeing weeping willows. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's almost this sense of Mother Gaia and nature sort of crying for, there's a grief that is being released now. And it's showing up in hurricanes and earthquakes. And I know we could understand that scientifically with the solar flares and everything, but there's almost a need to purge from the planet as well. And I think that's why they've been highlighting weeping willows, a literal weeping happening in plant matter in the mineral kingdom. And geologically, they're showing me cracks in the core of Earth where it's literally allowing her cracks to show, is how I'm hearing it, where she needs to cry and purge and release all this energy. Now they're highlighting the number 21 here as the solstice, that the time between 12:19 and 12:21 are going to be pronounced energetic shifts on our planet. The 19th being the day purported, where Three-Eye Atlas is purported to cross Earth, the closest point to Earth. And 12:21 being the solstice. So there is something about being in a flow state now to prepare for this climactic point of 2025, which is in and around these 3 days. I'm going to get one final message from Spirit and then we'll close out. Any other guidance, please, my guides, Spirit, Divine itself? Any other guidance for this collective here? Anything else you want to share with them? Please and thank you. Any other guidance, please and thank you. Show me clearly, please. You want me to turn the deck? Okay. Show me clearly, please. No? Do you have anything more to say? Yes? Okay. There it is. Interesting. We have a mother's love. Before I even read this, to me, a mother's love is Mother Gaia. And I think that's why she was highlighted in this reading. But let's read the message. A mother's love. A mother's love is reaching out to you at this time and holding you close. She knows how much you miss her and wants to remind you that this special bond of love can never be broken. Now, I guess I just want to state the obvious that maybe indeed there is someone who has a mother who has crossed over and has been feeling a connection to their mother. If you feel a rush in your body or you feel some resonance, intuitively, by all means, this is your mother. But otherwise, I do feel that this is Mother Gaia reaching out to us because she came up so strongly in this reading. She is reaching out at this time and holding you close. So when you feel afraid, whether it's something going on up in the sky or something going on in your life at this point, she is here for us. I'm also hearing Mary Magdalene as a mother figure for some, if any of you resonate with her. I just heard her come in. I know she's been spoken about in the spiritual community lately. She was not on my mind at all, though. I was just given that, so that might be relevant to someone here. I don't know enough about Mary Magdalene to speak to her, but she does feel like a mother figure to me. Okay, dear ones, I'm going to close out that reading there. Thank you so very much for spending this time with me. Much love to you all, and I hope you get a lot of good rest, whether it be during the day or the night. Many blessings to you all. Take good care.